Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, I'll try not to be too arrogant, but I have been trying to tell people this for years. And people want to be in la la land. They don't want to listen to me. And I think the best breakdown of exactly what level predator this man was broken down by Pockets in the Future, Paul Romano. He did an amazing job. I don't know if his videos are still up, but I had already at that point, I did believe that he had done it. And mind you guys, I used to be a huge fan of his, like completely insane fan of his. Had the doll, had the glove, had the glasses, all that stuff. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you want to walk off in zombie land and stay there, that's okay. But we all have to remember that these individuals have way more money than any of us will ever have access to. So they have ways of deflecting, of paying people off sometimes, not always paying them off, but making them shut their mouths. And I'm going to do a little more research. All the time when I did videos on him, they were always taken down. Except for one where I didn't say a word and I just showed pictures, because pictures are worth 1,000 words. This guy's guilty. 100% guilty. And I'm embarrassed that I ever fell for it, but I was a child. This guy was malevolent, evil, cruel, malicious, level 5 predator. And he was able to trick people. I think he was one of the biggest virtue signalers of the century. Heal the world, make it a better place. All that bullshit. Meanwhile, while he's hurting all these boys. And the ones that came forward, those weren't the only ones. There were a lot more. There were Mexican boys. There were a lot more. And they made, however they did it, they made it go away. They paid off the Mexican cops, whomever it was. I'm just alleging this, but there were they got a lot of money. And anyone in his camp, well, I mean, even his sister spoke out. If you guys remember, she said the truth. And they made her shut up. They were going to take her out, I believe, if she didn't shut her mouth. Until this day now, she won't say anything, but she knew the truth. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and read this article. It's getting me spurred on to do another video. But I'm going to be, if I do make a video, it's going to be the most cryptic video you've ever seen in your life. Because, one, there's a reason I don't have comments. Two, I don't play the censorship game. I don't like playing that game. So it's that old saying, if you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So, and I'm not a big media fan, to be honest, but I would say, out of a lot of media establishments, I would think that the Scottish Sun would be more credible. Oh, and I know Chandler, the Chandler kid, his father allegedly killed himself. I don't believe that was what happened. And there was another one of his victims that the father allegedly offed himself. So, he did not deny it. MJ refused to answer when asked, "Are you effing my kid?" by first accuser Jordan Chandler's dad. Police document reveals. The original 1993 complaint against Jacko unearthed by Sun Online, who alleges the star performed an array of twisted sex acts on 13-year-old Jordan Chandler. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he's getting set up. It's a money grab, blah, 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 blah. But these documents, a lot of these documents that are coming out are very old. And the thing about when you tell the truth, that's the thing about when you tell the truth, all the dots line up. What is that we used to do when I was a kid, the connect the dots? They all connect. So anyone telling the truth always has that on their side. Remember that. Okay. The article is by Emma Perry, Digital U.S. correspondent, published 15 February 2019. Michael J. refused to answer when the angry dad of his first accuser, Jordan Chandler, asked him, "Are you effing my kid?" according to a police document. The explosive police complaint unearthed by Sun Online also reveal how Jackson allegedly told the youngster, MASTUR, you guys know the rest, was a wonderful thing before he began to molest him. Grooming. Just because a person was sexually abused as a child does not give them a right to continue the abuse. And honestly, if you guys want to go back and look at a lot of the pictures, look very closely when he was with the children. You'll see what I'm talking about. Michael J. with his first accuser, Jordan Chandler. On other occasions, Jackson performed OSEX on the teenager and got him to blank on his blank as he beepity baited it adds. Jordan's dad, Evan Chandler, decided to confront the Thriller singer after becoming suspicious of his then 13-year-old son's close relationship with Jacko. I don't appreciate them calling him that. You know, even though I think he's evil, it makes him lose credibility to me when they act like that. And think about the son's father. There's a lot to that. If you watch the Neverland Story, I know a lot of people don't want to believe it, but he was one of those people that his manipulation was so precise and multi-layered. That's how he talked the father into all the stuff, that to let the child stay in, etc. These groomers are good at what they do. According to the Chandler's original Santa Barbara police complaint, a copy of the official affidavit was filed as part of the 1995 lawsuit in which former Neverland employees who allegedly witnessed the abuse accused Jay of gagging them. Also, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you guys, but if you guys go back, mind you, I was in my young years back then. I remember this. If you go back and look at Oprah Winfrey's interview with him, back then I was still under I was under his spell. Oprah wasn't having it. Just watch. I'm telling you guys. A copy of a search warrant ordering officials to examine Jay's body, including his pee, in a bid to see if his physical appearance matched up with Jordan's description. It also included in the court filing. Yeah, I remember them talking about that. The police complaint, which caused police to raid Jay's Neverland Ranch in 1993, describes how angry Evan went to Jackson's hideout resident in Century City, Los Angeles, and confronted Jackson over the alleged abuse. Also, I got to give a shout out to the LAPD in that situation. LAPD wasn't playing that bullshit. And they really put Michael through the ringer, as they should have. And he cried like a baby about it. Allegations against Jackson first became public in 1993. Based on his observation, Mr. Chandler believed that Jackson was molesting Jordan. The affidavit states, Mr. Chandler asked, are you... I don't know why they say this 15 times. Mr. Chandler asked, are you effing my kid? Jackson became very upset and replied that he does not use that word. You see, that's gaslighting, friends. Gaslighting. Jackson did not deny the allegation or answer the question. Yeah, because he was gaslighting. The singer ended up shelling out $23 million to the Chandler family, which prevented the case going to court. But prior to that, even hired a lawyer and had meetings with Jackson's representatives in which he asked for the King of Pop to set up a trust fund for his son to pay for counseling, the document says. Can't never take it back, though, all that abuse. After no agreements were reached, Evan decided to make Jordan an appointment with a private psychotherapist, knowing that the doctor would be required to report the abuse to authorities. See, how do you fight somebody with that kind of money? How do you do that? You know, especially these big celebrities. We're seeing all the stuff happening with Diddy. So I'm going to read it. Person or property to be searched. The body of MJ, a black male adult, date of birth, August 29th, 1958, 5'8", 130 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Items to be searched. I might beep some of this out. To view and photograph the entire body of MJ, including his pee, buttocks, lower torso, and thigh areas, and any other areas of the body, and then it's all blacked out. To have MJ examined in a medically approved and non-invasive manner by a physician specializing in dermatology to determine the condition of his skin, the existence of any skin disorder, including the discrete vitiligo or other discoloration or physical condition of the skin. MJ shall be advised that he has no right to refuse the examination and photograph, and any refusal to comply with the warrant would be admissible at trial and would be an indication of his consciousness of guilt. Remember how he whined about it? Because the boy was able to identify specific parts of his body, like there were identifiable marks or colorations. That doesn't come when you haven't seen that. The court filing also contains this search warrant ordering an official search of Jay's body, including his pee. The psychotherapist, Dr. Mathis Abrams, then wrote, a mandated child abuse report which identified Jordan Chandler, age 13, as the victim of sexual abuse by MJ, which he sent to the Los Angeles County Department of Children's Services. Jordan stated that the sexual abuse included Jackson's blank him, master blank, and Jackson orally blank, Jordan's blank, until Jordan blank. The police document says. You guys all can figure that one out. Just go read it. During the sexual abuse, Jay justified the activity by telling Jordan that it was okay and natural because other friends have done this with Jackson. According to the documents, young Jordan first met Jay at his stepdad's rent-a-wreck business in Los Angeles in 1992 when the star's car broke down and he had to rent one. Biggest fatal mistake, or biggest fatal meeting there for the child. They're always on the lookout for new victims. The singer then began calling the 13-year-old, and they became so close, according to the affidavit, that Jordan didn't see his real dad, Evan, for several months. Like, the way he did it, I mean, I know that parents should be responsible, but if you watch the movie and go do some research, like, he was really good at what he was doing, like, at getting people's trust. I mean, he gained trust to how many millions of people, right? The original police affidavit was filed as part of a 1995 case involving Neverland employees who accused Jay of silencing them. I believe there's a lot more Neverland employees that could talk. You see, they're afraid for their lives too, just as much as Diddy's victims. I mean, Diddy was a different character, but money talks, and they're able to do whatever they want. Jordan says he first slept in the same bed as the star during a trip to Florida in 1993, during which Jay cuddled with Jordan and rubbed against him so that Jordan felt Jackson's blank, 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 blank against him. The abuse soon escalated, according to the documents, and during a trip to Monaco, Jackson blank, blank, blank baited Jordan and asked him, wasn't that good? While in Monaco, Jackson told Jordan that Jackson's cousin blank, blank baited in front of him, and Jackson said that blank, blank bation was a wonderful thing, it reads. It's a wonderful thing. Jackson and Jordan then bathed and laid in bed together. Hold on, guys. Okay. I'm surprised they put all this in the article. Jackson began to, I'm going to put M. Jackson began to M Jordan's P, initially over Jordan's shorts, then blank to blank. This activity occurred several times and progressed onto Jackson's orally blankety blank 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 Jordan's. Later, Jordan alleges that during another trip to Florida, Jackson directed Jordan to blank 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 while twisting Jackson's blank blank blank. Jackson then M himself. And honestly, I am not an expert, but I've done a lot of research because of what my mother went through. I told you guys this. And children don't have references for this stuff unless they've been exposed to it. So if I'm not saying he was lying, I don't believe he was. But first of all, if a child was coached to say these things, their stories will never, they can't keep them straight because they don't know what they're talking about. And that's true for anything. Trying to see if I can enlarge this. Jordan stated that after the trip to Florida, Jackson took Jordan and his mother and half-sister to Monaco. This is all the grooming. He was grooming the family as well. While in Monaco, Jackson told Jordan that Jackson's cousin... Okay, I already read all this, so... Never know. You wonder, makes me wonder if one of the family took him out. You never know. Jay apparently told the teen that if he ever told anyone what had happened, Jay would be placed in juvie hall. That's the fear. They instill the fear. He also admitted that he did this with other boys, but didn't go as far with them. See, that's the normalization. Oh, this is just normal. Everybody does this stuff. It's not anything different. Everyone thinks he's such a great guy. The affidavit goes on to explain how Jordan was interviewed about details of Jackson's naked body by authorities, but all the details of what he said are blacked out in the court filing for privacy reasons. No, that's not for privacy reasons. Where's my little cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching? I'm going to take BJ's. I like how she puts a little cash register thing. However, in an unredacted section, Jackson's doctors claim that the star suffered vitiligo, a disease which causes depigmentation of the skin, which gave him blotches and areas of discoloration on his body and legs. So essentially that means the doctors are getting paid by MJ anyways. The same doctor, dermatologist Dr. Arnold Klein, also claimed that Jackson once put his vitiligo cream, which helps to even out the skin colors, on his genitals, which burned them. So he's trying to cover for him. That's just... You guys got to read between the lines on that one. Wow, this is really sad. Like, they blocked everything out. That's what money does, man. That was back in the day. They used a marker. They blocked it all out. I mean, granted, not everyone needs to know that, but it also would have given more credibility to Chandler. How would Chandler know all these extreme details of Jackson's body unless he had seen them? And it's all blacked out. Jackson's former housekeeper, Bianca Francia, also told cops that Jackson once revealed that he bleaches his skin because he does not like being black. What does this have to do with the molestation? Inquiring minds want to know. What does that have to do with it? Following the extensive medical information, the affidavit states, this information would tend to corroborate the acts of child molestation described by Jordan. It also coincides with a lot of other victim stories. So take that to the bank. A search warrant ordered officials to search Jackson's body, including his pee. Okay, they already told us this. You think with all the artificial intelligence and computer programs, they would be able to figure out that they repeat things 3 times. The bombshell affidavit was included in a 1995 court case by former Neverland employees. See, you guys, there was more than one witness. I've been saying this stuff for so many years. I hope I live to see justice. Who claimed they had been harassed? Yeah, little Mikey. Little old Mikey, the sweet man who loves children and wants to save the world. The employees claimed they had been harassed, assaulted, and even threatened with death to keep them quiet over MJ's molestation of young boys. And I have to go back and get the names, but 2 of his victims that spoke out, both of their fathers mysteriously took themselves out. I know one did have mental health issues, but MJ completely destroyed his family. Stole his child. Leaving Neverland details claims from Wade Robson, a choreographer who says Jackson began abusing him when he was 7, and James Safechuck, a former child actor, who says Jackson began molesting him when he was 10. There are a lot more victims, you guys. I really hope that I live long enough to see some of them come out. So that's it, you guys. I'm going to put a link in the description. Have a good day or good night wherever you are. Peace.